Hey everybody, this is audioteachers.com. We're going to do a quick 10-minute audiobook recording. We're going to try to do 3 books very quickly. We're going to do Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind. We're going to go to a random page. Zen and excitement. Zen is not some kind of excitement, but concentration on our usual everyday routine. My master died when I was 31. Although I wanted to devote myself just to Zen practice at Ehiji Monastery, I had to succeed my master at his temple. I became quite busy, and being so young I had many difficulties. These difficulties gave me some experience, but it meant nothing compared with the true calm, serene way of life. It is necessary for us to keep the constant way. Zen is not some kind of excitement, but concentration on our usual everyday routine. If you become too busy and too excited, your mind becomes rough and ragged. This is not good. If possible, try to be always calm and joyful and keep yourself from excitement. Usually we become busier and busier day by day, year by year. Especially in our modern world, if we revisit old familiar places after a long time, we are astonished by the changes. It cannot be helped, but if we become interested in some excitement or in our own change, we will become completely involved in our busy life, and we will be lost. But if your mind is calm and constant, you can keep yourself away from the noisy world, even though you are in the midst of it. In the midst of noise and change, your mind will be quiet and stable. Zen is not something to get excited about. Some people start to practice Zen just out of curiosity, and they only make themselves busier. If your practice makes you worse, it is ridiculous. I think that if you try to do Zazen once a week, that will make you busy enough. Do not be too interested in Zen. When young people get excited about Zen, they often give up schooling and go to some mountain or forest in order to sit. That kind of interest is not true interest. Just continue in your calm, ordinary practice, and your character will be built up. If your mind is always busy, there will be no time to build, and you will not be successful, particularly if you work too hard on it. Building character is like making bread. You have to mix it little by little, step by step, and moderate temperature is needed. You know yourself quite well, and you know how much temperature you need. You know exactly what you need. But if you get too excited, you will forget how much temperature is good for you, and you will lose your own way. This is very dangerous. Buddha said the same thing about the good ox driver. The driver knows how much load the ox can carry, and he keeps the ox from being overloaded. You know your way and your state of mind. Do not carry too much. Buddha also said that building character is like building a dam. You should be very careful in making the bank. If you try to do it all at once, water will leak from it. Make the bank carefully, and you will end up with a fine dam for the reservoir. An unexciting way of practice may appear to be very negative. This is not so. It is a wise and effective way to work on ourselves. It is just very plain. I find this point very difficult for people, especially young people, to understand. On the other hand, it may seem as if I am speaking about gradual attainment. This is not so either. In fact, this is the sudden way, because when your practice is calm and ordinary, everyday life itself is enlightenment. Right effort. If your practice is good, you may become proud of it. What you do is good, but something more is added to it. Pride is extra. Right effort is to get rid of something extra. The most important point in our practice is to have right or perfect effort. Right effort directed in the right direction is necessary. If your effort is headed in the wrong direction, especially if you are not aware of this, it is diluted effort. Our effort in our practice should be directed from achievement to non-achievement. Usually when you do something, you want to achieve something. You attach to some result. From achievement to non-achievement means to be rid of the unnecessary and bad results of effort. If you do something in the spirit of non-achievement, there is a good quality in it. So just to do something without any particular effort is enough. When you make some special effort to achieve something, some excessive quality, some extra element is involved in it. You should get rid of excessive things. If your practice is good without being aware of it, you will become proud of your practice. That's pride is extra. What you do is good, but something more is added to it. So you should get rid of that something which is extra. This point is very, very important, but usually we are not subtle enough to realize it, and we go in the wrong direction because all of us are doing the same thing, making the same mistake. We do not realize it, so without realizing it, we are making many mistakes, and we create problems among us. This kind of bad effort is called being Dharma-ridden or practice-ridden. You are involved in some idea of practice or attainment, and you cannot get out of it. When you are involved in some dualistic idea, it means your practice is not pure. But purity, we do not mean to polish something, trying to make some impure thing pure. By purity, we just mean things as they are. When something is added, that is impure. When something becomes dualistic, that is not pure. If you think you will get something from practicing Zazen, already you are involved in impure practice. It is all right to say there is practice and there is enlightenment, but we should not be caught by the statement. You should not be tainted by it. When you practice Zazen, just practice Zazen. If enlightenment comes, it just comes. We should not attach to the attainment. The true quality of Zazen is always there, even if you are not aware of it. So forget all about what you think you may have gained from it. Just do it. The quality of Zazen will express itself. Then you will have it. People ask what it means to practice Zazen with no gaining idea what kind of effort is necessary for that kind of practice. The answer is effort to get rid of something extra from our practice. If some extra idea comes, you should try to stop it. You should remain in pure practice. That is the point towards which our effort is directed. We say to hear the sound of one hand clapping. Usually the sound of clapping is made with two hands, and we think that clapping with one hand makes no sound at all, but actually one hand is sound. Even though you do not hear it, there is sound. If you clap with two hands, you can hear the sound, but if the sound did not already exist before you clapped, you could not make the sound. Before you make it, there is sound. Because there is sound, you can make it and you can hear it. Sound is everywhere. If you just practice it, there is sound. Do not try to listen to it. If you do not listen to it, the sound is all over. Because you try to hear it, sometimes there is sound and sometimes there is no sound. Do you understand? Even though you do not do anything, you have the quality of Zazen always. But if you try to find it, if you try to see the quality, you have no quality. You are living in the world as one individual, but before you take the form of a human being, you are already there, always there. We are always here. Do you understand? You think before you were born you were not here, but how is it possible for you to appear in this world when there is no you? Because you are already there. You can appear in the world. Also, it is not possible for something to vanish which does not exist. Because something is there, something can vanish. What you may think that when you die you disappear, you no longer exist, but even though you vanish, something which is existent cannot be non-existent. That is the magic. We ourselves cannot put any magic spells in this world. The world is its own magic. If we are looking at something, it can vanish from our sight, but if we do not try to see it, that something cannot vanish. Because you're watching it, it can disappear, but if no one is watching, how is it possible for anything to disappear? If someone is watching you, you can escape from him, but if no one is watching, you cannot escape from yourself. So try not to see something in particular. Try not to achieve anything special. You already have everything in your own pure quality. If you understand this ultimate fact, there is no fear. There may be some difficulty, of course, but there is no fear. If people have difficulty without being aware of the difficulty, that is true a difficulty. They may appear very confident. They may think they are making a big effort in the right direction. But without knowing it, what they do comes out of fear. Something may vanish for them, but if your effort is in the right direction, then there is no fear of losing anything. Even if it is in the wrong direction, if you are aware of that, you will not be deluded. There is nothing to lose. There is only the constant pure quality of right practice. All right, go to the zencenter.com. This was a reading of Shunryu Suzuki. I believe it's Dr. Suzuki. And it was a very interesting book. It's called Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind, Informal Talks on Zen Meditation and Practice. Namaste. This is going to be a 10-minute, 28-second recording. I'm just going to close it out with some Buddhist mantras. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Oh, this one's called Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. This is called Namor Bunshi Dazizai 1-4. Namor bunchi daziz I one for Namo 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 bunchi daziz I one for. You can also do my favorite Ribon Shalom 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 Nam Yoho Renge Kyo Om Mani Padme Hum Namor bunchi daziz I one for Namo 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 bunchi